Good evening and welcome to the emergency meeting of the Select Board on this date, on October 6, 2025. We're going to start with the executive session in order to move through some questions and to come out and be able to answer questions, I would say. And so I'd entertain a motion to do that, and we'll go to the back room so you don't have to go outside of your cars.
Okay, I move to go into executive session pursuant to MRSA 4056 to discuss our rights and responsibilities as a select board.
Second.
All in favor? So we're going to go in the back room. Thank you, Bill. Good evening. Welcome to the special emergency meeting. It was posted on the agenda as a question and answer after the executive session.
You need to come out of executive session.
Oh, I'm very sorry. Can't tell I'm a little nervous here. I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Anyway, as I was saying, I asked to post those question and answers, and after having the meeting with the lawyer, Matt is to the right, left of Joe, and Betsy is, what's that? And Betsy is our HR person on his right. We won't be taking questions and answer as it's a personnel matter. We can't do it. It wants to be left personal and that, but we will take comments. We'll limit it to 2 minutes, but everyone has taken the time out to come here, and we certainly want to hear what you have to say. My apology for putting on the agenda as questions and answers.
So are you going to tell them what we decided in executive session?
We've accepted the resignation, and we are committed to working with the policy and procedures as we have tried to do as best of our ability, and we're looking forward to moving forward.
Point of order, please. When did you guys have that on the agenda to have a motion to accept? Because I don't remember a motion to accept.
It wasn't on the agenda. We just
You can't accept it all as a whole.
Should you go to the microphone?
Absolutely. Yep.
When did
Name and...
we.
Teresa Stadak?
The question is, I said we accepted his resignation.
They can't.
We
You
didn't
can-
vote to accept it. I mean, we just accepted it.
You can do it now.
Is even though it's not on the agenda?
Yes, you can still do that.
Okay, but
Yes, you can do that.
and that's why I called point of order, because they have not, and they can't speak on behalf of the rest of the board.
Okay. That's why he's here. Have a motion to accept his resignation?
I make a motion that we accept the resignation with great sorrow of Joe Crocker.
And I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Can I make a, can I say
Statement?
something
Yeah.
first? Sure. So in February 2020, Joe was hired to lead the newly developed Recreation Department. In 5 years, the Recreation Department now includes several youth programs, adult programs, after-school programs, and a summer camp. On behalf of the Select Board and citizens of Raymond, we thank you for your 5 years of service, and we wish you luck in your future endeavors.
Here, here.
All those in favor? I'm going to take all the comments here in a second. All right, we'll move to comments from the public. We talked about a 2-minute period for everyone to speak, because there's certainly going to be people on both the Zoom and here, and try not to repeat anything that's been said. So
I think you neglected to tell them what the process of going
I'm very
forward
sorry. Yes.
with the HR person, what she's going to be doing.
Yeah. Betsy is going to be doing the process to find an interim town manager. She'll be starting on it as soon as she has a moment. We'll be reaching out for the people in the field, and then moving forward with hiring a new interim town manager until, to get us through the process before we take on a full-time town manager. Is there anything you want to add to that?
No, so just an interim town manager typically just comes in while we recruit for a permanent town manager. That takes
Thank you.
some time. And so we need to go through the interim process first, and I'll be handling all of that for you folks.
Matt, would you like to say anything before we open it up to comments?
No.
Okay. Anyone like to go to the microphone and let us know?
And I'll time.
Yes.
The 2 minutes, okay.
Suzanne Carr, 61 Spiller Hill. Joe, I enjoyed working with you. You made that town office wonderful to work with. The previous management did not do anything for us. You made us all friends and all work together, and I am ready to cry knowing that you're leaving. And I think this town is going to go down the tubes without Joe. You guys don't know how much he's done for this town, not just the children, but everywhere. He has made it wonderful to work with. He has made everything. He came in during COVID and got the rec department going. I am so sad. I am so upset. I might be given my notice too after 18 years being here. I am sorry, Joe. I'm very sorry.
Wallace, Pulpit Rock Road. Joe has done a wonderful job in this town, and now we are forced to find another town manager. And we've gone through 3 for different reasons, whatever they be. I don't know. I don't care. What it is now is, to me, it's up to the HR person and the select board to come together to find out why we've gone through these town managers and correct the issue and make people like this happy. And make all of us happy. And I look around and I see all these people, and I see a lot of Raymond Rec hats, sweatshirts. Understandable. It's understandable. But there's a process. Town manager is not an easy job, especially when you're a rec person. To go into that, you need to learn the process, and we need to find somebody that is going to be willing to come into this town and help it come together, as opposed to breaking it apart. You want to break it apart, go down to Washington. You know, this is our town. It's not very big. So, and on another note, I'd like to congratulate Mel on her achievement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Teresa Sadak, 207 Webbs Mills Road. Joe, I guess I have to ask myself, what was your breaking point? And I'm looking at you guys because you were his breaking point. And I'm saying it because it's my opinion. This guy has been offered so many different things as far as challenges in this town. And you know what? You broke him. You broke him. You really did. And it's disgusting. It really is. And I'm sitting here thinking I am crying at a select board meeting, which is ridiculous. Congratulations. You know what? I'm horrified right now. I am absolutely horrified. The process that we went through was perfect. He was being mentored by somebody in Wells, but that wasn't good enough, was it? And you know what's really sad too, is when staff is hearing you guys yelling in the office. That is pathetic. What kind of respect and lack of respect is that? And putting that in the newspaper? What in God's name were you thinking? Seriously. That's a personnel matter. So we put it in there and we ask for forgiveness later. Same thing with the question and answers. We just ruined a guy's life. We're being here, building this town up. Pat yourselves on the back, seriously. But I got to tell you, the town is at a big loss. Big loss. And we'll never get it back. It's disgusting. Joe, thank you for everything you have done for Raymond. And I am so sorry to see you leave. And I am sorry that literally you were pushed out, because that's exactly what it is.
This is under 3 minutes, but it's prepared, so I'll read it right through it. Peter Levitt, 2 Levitt Road. Since I believe the door was opened, I think that's the legal term as far as the last speaker kind of aiming barbs at certain individuals up here. Let me just read this. So the town of Raymond
Can I just say that that is limited to direct complaints about people. Complaints about the actions of the board
Yeah.
are different than complaints about individuals.
Okay, thank you. So the Town of Raymond elected official recall and appointment ordinance, June 5, 2012. Recall petition must state a reason or reasons for the proposed recall. In Raymond, a recall petition can be initiated for any reason, but the specific reason must be clearly stated in the notice of intent. Nothing in this ordinance prohibits the grounds for recall from being contrived or disingenuous. The State of Maine model ordinance for municipalities, Title 38, Sections 2505, state an elected official may be subject to a recall petition under this section only if the official is convicted of a crime, the conduct of which occurred during the official's term of office and the victim of which is the municipality. These two documents are widely divergent requirements, have widely divergent requirements for grounds for initiating a recall petition. The two extremes are the town, for any reason, and the state model, only if convicted of a crime. The two extremities are very apparent, and here's a recommendation for the future, and that's that the ordinance be amended to establish some middle ground requirements between these two extremes. Lastly, I'd just say some food for thought. 1, the expense of recall election is borne by the Raymond taxpayer. 2, consider if this process is creating more divisiveness or unity. 3, understand reversing an election result is a serious undertaking. And 4, one of the elected officials that is subject to this recall petition has been in office for 4 months and has attended 6 board meetings. Not what I would call an extensive history to warrant a recall. Thank you.
I apologize for not saying this, but you have to say your name when you go to the microphone, please.
Grace Levitt, Levitt Road. So yes, thanks to Joe for all the work done in the rec department. It certainly has grown over the years, and I do appreciate how difficult it must be to take on the role of a town manager. It's a 24/7 type of a job that would take a toll on any normal human being, I think. I don't know what the reasons are behind the decision for Joe to decide to leave. But I do know that I've watched the select board meetings and other town meetings for a very long time, but I've been attending recently in person for, a couple of years. And I've seen a great amount of disrespect in previous select boards that have, even speaking to one another, a lot of disrespect from previous select boards. What I appreciate is that the current select board we have has really been working hard to move things forward, to build a sense of community, have spoken to that, have goals of rebuilding community events, and really have worked, from what I've seen, respectfully and trying to get transparency around a number of issues where there still are, in my mind, still are some questions that need to be answered, but perhaps some things had to happen in executive session, so we're not going to be privy to those. I get it. But again, I just appreciate the efforts of the 5 people sitting up there. Appreciate the efforts of the others that are serving on boards to really try to keep things moving forward and have positive movement. And for somebody in this town to accuse this board of or anyone on it of making things more divisive, I find really difficult to believe, because I know there have been a lot of actions in the past where there has been great division caused by others previously. So again, just bearing witness to what I've seen. I've not seen evidence of what I've seen put out there for a reason for trying to recall. Thank you very much for listening to us this evening. I appreciate the opportunity.
Karen Lockwood, Mountain Road, Chair of the Town of Raymond Budget Finance Committee. Chairman Morse, Vice Chair Gonzalez, and members on the Select Board. I am disappointed and sad to be standing here tonight to address the Select Board regarding the resignation of Town Manager Joe Crocker. His resignation has set off a chain of events that is dividing our town. When we were sworn in as elected officials to conduct the business of the Town of Raymond, we agreed to serve in accordance with the Town of Raymond Code of Ethics for appointed and elected municipal officials. Of importance: 1, I will have integrity in all manners. 4, I will make policy decisions based on the available facts and appropriate public input. 6, I will encourage individual board members' expression of opinion and establish open two-way communication process with all segments of the community. 14, I will always remember that the foremost concern of the board is to improve and enhance the quality of life for the residents and visitors of the Town of Raymond. There are 2 sides to every story. The chair and the vice chair met with the town manager to offer options and discuss solutions for the town manager to stay on. That doesn't sound like a scenario where a person is being allegedly forced out of their job. That sounds like good leadership to me. Let's not be influenced by emotional outbursts and profanity on social media, but follow the facts of the timeline as they have developed since the beginning of the year. There is a lot of information to look at. I believe the 3 individuals targeted by the recall campaign are delivering on their campaign promises for an improved, transparent form of government in Raymond, something that has been lacking. They should be allowed the ability to complete their terms in office to achieve their goals. Progress takes time.
Thank you.
Sean McKillop, 84 Main Street. Joe, you're a good dude. Well loved by the town. I do feel like this thing has been a public thing when it should have been more of a personal thing. It's your personal decision. I support you in it. I do think I would like to ask the town to lower the temperature a little bit. There are a lot of misinformation. I know that word gets used a lot, but there is. But in this particular case, Joe, this is your decision. We're going to stand by it. We support you. We hope you're the best. Just ask the town to lower the temperature a little bit.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening. Char Jewell, 17 Hartley Lane. I did not expect to speak tonight. I didn't know any of what was going on until I saw it on social media. The root of all evil these days, it seems to be. So I'm not going to address anything specific because, frankly, I don't know. but I will speak based on my 30-plus years of experience as a human resources professional. Always the truth is somewhere in the middle. Often people will take jobs with companies and find out very quickly that it was not a good fit for them. And it's not necessarily that the job itself was not a good fit, but maybe the company and the company's management was not a good fit. And vice versa, company management can make a hiring decision and realize quickly that the person they hired for the job is not the right person. And I'm not here to say which set of facts is true. But I will say the amount of turmoil that this has caused, because Joe is obviously very beloved by a lot of people in the community, and I can appreciate that. And, you know, the people that are a target of the recall, at least 2 of the 3, I know a long history in town. And there's a lot of dirty laundry in the past. There's a lot of just political wrangling over the years that have been going on for 30-plus years. And so I can imagine that there's some validity, some of the accusations that have been made based on my knowledge of what's happened in the past. And so I'm just here to say that oftentimes where there's smoke, there's fire. With the amount of turnover that we've had in this position specifically, that's troublesome from a citizen of this town and somebody that's lived here my entire life. So obviously, I think this is an opportunity for the board to do some reflection on what works, what doesn't work, have some meetings with the town staff to find out what they really need to be supported in their positions, because we certainly can't have town employees that have been here for a very long time and do a great job threatening to quit over this. It's not okay. So the board, I'm asking you, you need to do some reflection and figure out what do we need, who's the right person, and hire that person, and then treat them with dignity and respect, because the rumor mill has it that that hasn't been happening, and that's not a good thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Ben Crowder, 63 Sloan's Cove Road. A few concerns. I'd really like to ask that the town take down the letter off of social media and off the town website. I don't believe that's an appropriate place for any type of personnel matter discussion, and the risk that it exposes the town to liability-wise when dealing with an employee is pretty substantial. I don't say that casually. I did practice law for a number of years, and it's really concerning to me. In addition, when dealing with a town manager, there's a whole other different layer of procedures that have to be followed, so it's very concerning, and I wish that it would be taken down as soon as possible. I think it's going to be difficult for the town to be able to procure a new and proficient manager with the number of turnover that there's been in recent times. It's going to travel. That's a small collection of individuals. They all know each other. They all belong to, I don't know if it still exists, the Maine Municipal Association. That used to be what governed town managers when my father was the town manager here. And if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So I think it may be difficult for a while for the town to find somebody that's qualified, and we may be with an interim manager for a long period of time, but I don't think that we should hire casually. I think we should hire a good fit, but that's going to be really challenging. I've only been, admittedly, due to my work, to one other Board of Selectmen meeting this year. It's really difficult for me to attend. But during the course of that meeting, a private personnel matter was also discussed by the chair of the board while I was here. So that's 2 for 2. I think that's a really bad precedent to send, and I think it exposes the town. I think there needs to be some reflection on whether that's the kind of action we want. I don't know Joe. I've never had the opportunity to meet him, but I've talked to a lot of people in town. I've lived here for 37 years now, and I know a lot of people. My family's been committed to advancing the interests of the town for a long time, and by all accounts, it seems like he was a remarkable gentleman. So, Joe, I regret the fact that I never got to meet you or to work with you, but I certainly wish you well with wherever you proceed.
Thank you.
Sarah Davis, 85 Tenny Hill Road. We're in an unfortunate position because we, as the citizens of Raymond, elected you all, and now you are sitting here in charge of personnel, and there has been quite a bit of turnover, and we're in the unfortunate situation where we don't get to understand why that happened, and I totally understand that. I also have practiced law for a long time, and so I get that. But it puts us in this awkward position of just knowing that there's a situation where we've lost 2 town managers in a very short amount of time, and we hear things about the way you conduct your business, and then we get to watch select board meetings and the financial committee meetings, and there's blatant disrespect to multiple town employees. There's people taking it personally because they think they were a former employee, that they're being attacked. It's not okay what's going on here, and you all need to do some serious self-reflection, and to come here and tell us that this is a personnel matter, and you can't discuss it, but we see your post on social media discussing it, that's really, really troubling as a citizen. So, all I hope is that the HR person looks into all of this, looks into all of you, and sets clear policies. I sat and watched all these meetings, and I went back, and you're fighting over little tiny things about when you should have an emergency meeting, and you should really be talking about basic code of conduct, and when you go into the town office, and how many people go in, and how you speak to town employees. Those are serious issues. These people deserve respect, and they should be treated better than what I have seen in public meetings. So I can't imagine what you do when the entire public is not watching. And so I just ask that you please reflect on it, that a full investigation is done. I get that we don't get to hear the pieces of that, but I hope it's done. I hope there's recommendations, and I hope you all really consider the way you conduct yourself in the future.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing no one, I'm going to adjourn the meeting.
I have you have to look at the...
I was looking up there. I didn't see anything.
I didn't bring a lunch.
There's no hands.
Jennifer Danzig, 38 Pulpit Rock Road. I also didn't come planning to speak tonight. I just wanted to listen. And I didn't want to come tonight because I was afraid that our town was turning into what our national politics had become. And I just really didn't want to deal with it because I love our little town. I do want to say I've been coming to every select board and planning board meeting probably for the last 2 years. I also go to zoning board of appeals. I've seen the changeover in the staff on the boards. So, this board is different from the last board. And I guess I want to thank everybody who runs for these positions. They're difficult positions, especially in this political climate. I want to thank the previous board. I want to thank the current board. I want to thank Joe for stepping up to be our town manager when we needed one. And I just want to remind everyone that we're special here in Raymond. It's a special community, and we do love each other, and we need to move forward as a town and not name calling and not nitpicking and not why did this person. I mean, it's okay to do some due diligence to figure out what the problems are, but it's 2 different boards with managers that have left, so I don't think it's fair to paint with a broad brush. I would just say, again, thank you. There's a lot of us on this side that are not sitting there because of whatever reason we chose not to run and chose not to serve, but you did. And so I think we need to give people the benefit of the doubt in this environment. Because it's a personnel issue, we can't hear from Joe's mouth personally, which means we're getting secondhand, third-hand, fourth-hand rumor knowledge, this side versus that side. And I don't think that's fair to Joe either. He made a personal decision, and we're going to miss him, but we want to wish him the best, and he's entitled to his privacy. And we need to do the best that we can do to move forward as a town and take care of each other. Because if we don't, we're seeing what's happening around the country, and we don't want that here. We're a beautiful little community. We need to love and care for each other and really help each other out, and be better selves, bring out the better angels in all of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seeing no one else? Entertain a- Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay, Daniel.
I don't see anything up here either. All right.
That's fine. I didn't stand up fast enough. Danelle Maloney, 7 Westview Drive. I want to say thank you. I know how much work this is for everybody here. And what I really appreciate about Joe is the heart that he's brought to this town. And for someone who has put so much of what he has worked towards into what we can see on a daily basis. I'm not saying what the rest of the select board does is not important, but Joe has given a heart to this town that I haven't seen in years, and I appreciate that. And it's a hard job to move forward from this. You can't unscramble an egg. And it's going to be tough to find a town manager that brings that same attribute that he did. And we want that. We want that heart because we love this town and we want it to be good, not just for ourselves, but for many years to come. So thank you, Joe. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing no one? Ask for adjournment. Motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Second. All those in favor? Thank you all for coming.